Here's the perfect solution to reclaim your life. Hello and welcome to the podcast. My name is Paul Drake. I am the host. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today is about reclaiming your life and how to go about ensuring that you can live your best life. That's the whole point of this podcast, is the LLB Project, which it's your birthright, which stands for live happy, live life without regret, and become better every day. Because why not? Because who wants to live a bad life when you can live your best life at the end of the day? Now, it's not who we are that holds us back. It's our habits, because we actually have unlimited potential. What the human body and what the human mind can actually do, it far passes what other people actually believe is actually able to do. However, you've seen people who have been diagnosed with cancer that's incurable, that have ended up curing themselves, and next time they go 6 weeks later, they haven't got a sign of cancer. There's been people who have been told that they'll never ever walk again. And what happens? They've been walking again, and then they'll end up doing like some marathon or something crazy like that. That's the thing, like the potential of the human is amazing, but yet we're held back by our own habits. And that is the habit of doing what other people tell us. Now, what have you been told before by others? The fact that you can't do something, the fact that you are not smart enough, the fact that you do not have the potential to be the person that you're striving to be. Now, I've also had this myself. I've had people come up to me and tell me that I don't need to change. I am good the way I am. I seem happy, and I seem, like I've, got life figured out and stuff like that. But they don't know the true me, and I want to be the best I can be, and I want to live a life that is actually the best it will ever be, and keep progressing and keep going and going and going. Because I think that no matter what, I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep progressing, I'm going to keep forcing myself and pushing myself and really hitting home that I'm here and I want to progress and I want to make life better. But we all have situations where our old habits come back up. Now, this happened actually last night. This is one of the things why I wanted to do this podcast about reclaiming your life. Now, when I was younger, my dad was he's quite quick-tempered. He never used to smack us or anything like that, but it used to be the fact that he was quite quick-tempered and quite angry over the small little things, like he'd shout and stuff like that, and I think it's kind of embedded into my brain, because I've got certain traits that are the same, which hold my hands up, I'm making sure that I as a person get these bad habits out of me. But when you've been around them for so long, they seem to get imprinted. This is what I talk about in yesterday's podcast, about how these habits get imprinted into our brains, and then we can't seem to break away from it so easily. Sometimes we take longer to actually break through the barriers, as it were, to really progress and move forward from there. So I think what happens is, when you're a child, you put them into brackets, don't you? It's simple. You say, oh, you're like your dad, or you're like your mum, or you've got this trait of your gran, or something like that. It's quite easily to do, and then before long, you've said it that many times that person then starts acting like that person without even you realising that you've subconsciously made them act like that, even though they probably didn't. It might have been just that one instance that they reminded you of behaviour of someone else, but then from then onwards, you kept on repeating it, which then made them act like it even more, which, hey presto, they've created a habit, they've created a personality. So, me personally, I did it last night. I had to get my point across that I was right, and I got quite mad. The fact that the situation was that I knew I didn't do something, and I was getting accused that I did do something, and it was getting me quite mad, and I was getting quite frustrated. Instead of just being the bigger person and saying, yeah, okay, well, I know that I didn't do it, but if you personally think that, then it's up to you how you think about it. But instead, I had to get my point across, and I had to really force myself to. I didn't even have to force myself. I really had to just make sure I was right. Which, who cares? Have you ever read the book by Dale Carnegie? It's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And there's actually a chapter in it that talks about this similar thing. It says, at the end of the day, no one really ever wins the argument. Because even if you are the person that seems to have won that argument, you may have lost a friend, you may have lost a loved one, you may have lost a relationship between you and a business partner or something like that. So have you really won, or have you just like tried to build up your ego a little bit further? Because you've ruined the chances of something else. So for what? For a childish little thing like making sure I was right, it just silly. So don't ever beat yourself up. Like we all have scenarios and situations where we can obviously do better, but then we ignore if we end up slipping back into that old personality, that old habit, then all we have to do is just kind of acknowledge what we've done, think, right, I'm not going to carry this on. I need to change. I need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Another way to reclaim your life is about the amount of effort that you put in. Now, are you truly and honestly being honest with yourself? Could you think to yourself, I could put more in? Or do you think that if you put more in, then there's more to lose? Because most of the time, me as well, we think that we're putting 110% into something, but when we actually look at it, we're actually quite standoffy, and we're quite, I don't know actually. I'm not sure if I put any more into this, I might fall harder. You know what they say? This is another thing. When you're a kid, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And this comes into the other situation of how much effort you put in, the more that you'll end up falling. But the higher you go and the higher you fall, the more you learn. So then the next time you climb even higher and you get even further. Now, do you say to yourself, you can't change? Or have you had other people say that you don't need to change? Now, the thing about that is, when it's you saying you can't change, it's kind of enforcing all the beliefs and the negativity around the habits and everything that you've got in your life. So if you say, well, I can't change, I can't do this, I can't do that, then you're the only one that's then empowering the fact that you can't do it, because it's coming from you and you are telling yourself. And 95% of the time, we listen to what we say to each other. There's a brilliant quote from Zig Ziglar in his book, See at the Top. It says about, I like talking to myself because I like to speak to someone who's smart. I think it's something along them lines, and I think, you know what, it's just funny and comical the way he says it. It's good because you think to yourself, yeah, that's right. You kind of like go through the day, right, maybe I need to do this, okay, well, let's do that, and maybe if I do that, then this won't happen. So you automatically do it without actually thinking about it. Now imagine if you was actually saying things like, you can do this is easy, why haven't you done this before? You can easily get on and do this, smash it out, you are the best. If you're saying things like that to yourself, instead of bringing yourself down like, I'm too thick, I'm not tall enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not willing to, change. And it's just the things that we say to ourselves have a massive impact on actually how our life turns out. So if you're putting they're called affirmations into your life. Now, this is another great way to reclaim your life, is by listening to affirmations. Me personally, I went through years and years and years without even knowing about them. They are something that's quite new to me, and I've started to listen to them at night. You can listen to them on YouTube. Just look up positive affirmations, and then they get you to listen to them either when you're asleep or throughout the day, just to try and boost your confidence and your own self-esteem back up, because you realize that, you know what, I am pretty good. You may not be the best at something yet, but at least you are then putting your best foot forward to then progress to where you want to go. There's always going to be people better than you. Always. It doesn't matter. Even if you're brilliant at one subject and you're the best in the world, there's other people that's going to be better than you at 50 other things. So don't ever think you have to be the best at every single last thing in your life, because you don't. You just need to be the best version of yourself to move forward, to be and where you want to go. So don't ever worry about don't ever worry about you having to be the best, because that is just, it's crazy. I was speaking to my eldest daughter the other day, and was talking to her, and she has the fear about being perfect in front of other people, and we're like, why do you need to be perfect? She said, I just don't want other people's judgment. And it's quite hard to hear, because you think, why at such a young age you're worried about other people judging you, and how you want to be perfect in the eyes of other people, and it's just wrong. So it's about trying to get that out at a younger age, so then it doesn't lead into a massive problem and a big habit that's harder to break when she's older. But it's one of them things that you just gotta try and learn and try and grow with and try to move forward. As I say, this is my journey of being a podcaster and trying to learn and try and become the best version of myself. And I'm taking everyone through my journey, and I'm trying to be as open, as honest as I can with everything that I'm saying and coming out with. And I'm no expert, excuse me, but I think that I am knowledgeable enough to start explaining these ways and start putting forth to you how you can do stuff, and then for you to then move forward, and you take your journey, you follow me, and you start taking your journey to whatever you want to do. I'd love the fact that if I was the first person that made you decide, right, I'm actually going to make the change to do this, or I'm going to make the change to do that, that would bring me so much happiness and just enjoyment that I'm bringing and serving people and making them realize that there is a better life. And since I've learnt that, I've tried to improve my life. I am not a fast learner. I am very, very slow, right? Which is another thing that I tell myself, which I shouldn't tell myself. But it's one of the things that I've come to accept, that I may not be as fast as someone else, but there's going to be obviously people slower than me. Who cares? I'll learn at my pace, and as long as if I'm taking them steps every single day, say if I'm taking an hour every day, that's 7 hours. Obviously I do more. I love learning, so I'm doing more. So if I take an hour every day, that's 7 hours per week. For a full month, that's 28 hours. That's over a day's worth of knowledge. Imagine learning for a full day. Look how much knowledge you'll be able to learn in that short amount of time. And then over the 12 months. So just look how much. And then Tony Robbins always says, we overestimate how much we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 10. Take where you are now. Say if you're about 30 years old. In 10 years' time and you're 40, it might seem like ages away, but at 40, you can retire, you can do whatever you want, you can live abroad, you can just do whatever you wanted to do. In 10 years seems like a long time, but imagine what you can do in 10 years. So you wake up at 40 and go, right, what should I do today? I don't need to go to work, I don't need to do this, I don't need to do that, because I am financially free, I am emotionally rich, I am the best version of myself. 10 years is nothing compared to, living a full life of unhappiness, unfulfillment, and regret. What would you rather do? Work 10 years flat out, forward, moving to progressing yourself, or living 50, 60 years, and at the end of it, regretting 40, 50 years of it because you've not actually put your best self forward and you've not moved forward. Now, I'll carry on with reclaiming your mind. Also, there is why do people think that they say to you about they don't want you to change? Now, the reason people don't want you to change is because they're not willing to put the effort in, and they're not willing to accept the fact that if you change, you might leave them behind, which is a hard thing for some people to swallow. They've been with you, say, a few years. You've both come to alignment. You're both where you are in life. neither of you are really that happy, but the fact that you're both exactly the same, it kind of gives you the comfort. You're both in that comfort zone of, oh, we're both the same, so we seem to, we seem to get each other. We know each other. But if you then take that path to move forward, and then you start progressing, your life starts seeming better. You start moving up. You're getting more wages. You're getting a better house. You're a lot more happier. You're more positive. You're able to learn things. You are progressing in life fully. And then they're still in the same position. They're scared that they're going to be left behind. So you either help them people, and if they don't want to, then I'm afraid you've just got to keep moving forward. You can't hold yourself back on other people's accounts. You can't live a life on other people's terms. Your life, your terms, your way of doing things. If it's not how everyone else does it, tough. It doesn't matter. You do it how you want to do because it is your life. Move forward. Get that inspiration. Get that acknowledgement that you want to better your life. You want to live the best life that you can possibly live. So, yeah, I'd say try not to worry about other people's judgments or other people holding you back, because they'll either follow you or they'll get left behind. And either way, it's a win-win for you. Yes, it's good serving people. Yes, it's good helping people out. But some people don't want the help. Some people are willing to live a life of mediocrity because they're not willing to get over the fear factor of progressing forward. So take that into mind when you're next speaking to a friend or family member who's trying to tell you that you don't need to change, because it's not their choice, it's yours. And if you're not happy with the way you are, then there's only one way to do it, and that's for you to change, move forward, do what you want to do in life. Now, by the way, if you like this podcast, you love this juicy free course that I'm giving away, I am in the process of finishing it off. It is how to reconnect with yourself and find happiness without other people's judgments. Now, this is a 6-week free live workshop course. So it will be live videos, there'll be worksheets, there'll be all sorts of different things to help you bring out what your limiting beliefs are, what you want to achieve, how you're going to achieve it, and a time frame that you can do it. It is going to be immense. It's going to be a full 6-week course that you get for free. All you need to go to freedomliveschool.com/free live workshop. Let me say that again. It is freedomliveschool.com/free live workshop. Go there. There is just one question on the website that I'll ask you to fill out for me. It is how to reconnect yourself and find happiness. You've just got to ask one question on what you think you want to achieve. So put, how do you achieve this and this and this, or I'd like to know how to do this and this and this and this and this. So if you do that, it just helps me make sure that everything that I can possibly think of is inside of the course, because I want this to be the most transformative course that you've ever done. And if you just do that for me, you get free access to experience the full course for nothing. The course itself will be selling about £150 once I've, as I say, ironed out the creases. All the people that have given me the questions and stuff like that I needed, they get to use it. They get to experience it first. They're the ones that start to get the transformation straight away. We'll go through the course. We'll do everything. Bing it about a bosh. Done. You've now changed your life forever. So that's it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed the episode. I might have rambled on a little bit, but hey, I might have gone from here, there, and everywhere. But at the end of the day, I'm in the process of learning podcasting. I'm loving it. I'm starting to feel my groove. I'm starting to just go for it and just really have a good time with it. Now, if you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe. Please like the video. Please share the video. Please comment on the video. And please share and review wherever you are. If you're on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you are and you're listening, go and share it. It helps the channel out massively, help me out massively, so then I can help even more people with this course, with the podcast, to reach their goals. Right, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in.